I want you to watch this short clip from the renowned comedian and atheist Ricky Gervais, and then I'm going to expose the stupidity behind it. Okay, so just watch it, enjoy. I'll be back in a minute.
We talked about this. What about Noah's Ark?
What about it?
Well, you know, you said you believed it because it's in book form, but according to that, didn't he get 2 of every species on a big boat? But we know that's impossible, don't we?
Depends where he was. If he was above a zoo, there would have been a lot of different stuff knocking about. That's my only problem. What I'm saying is, where was he floating where he could get an elephant, a giraffe, a cat, a dog, a gerbil? Where were all these things floating about?
Well, exactly.
Right,
That's
these
my
Old
only
Testament
downfall.
zoos, they were quite
but
big,
exactly.
really.
But you're right. You're questioning it. How is it possible?
But I've just said, a zoo.
There's no zoo that has got 1% of all animal species.
Well, I don't know where he got them from then.
There's a couple of million species of animal. And how did he round these animals up?
Because they were drowning, so they were looking for any boat.
So they were actively seeking out an ark.
Well, they would have just been looking for anything to get hold of.
Yeah, and where did he keep them all? How did he keep them all separate? How did he...
At that point...
Oh, no, the lions ate the otter.
No, because at that point, it's that thing, innit, of how you all pull together, you know, let's be nice to our neighbours.
Right, so there's spiders talking to flies and...
Well, they would have just gone elsewhere, wouldn't they? They would
What do you
have
mean?
been on another bit of the boat. The spiders don't have to knock about the lions just because they're all in it together. They get their own little area, don't they?
Well, I don't know. How big is this boat?
It's big. It's a big boat. How long... What was the warning he got from God to make it?
I don't know.
It's a couple of weeks.
Yeah. 2 of every species, Karl. How big would this boat have to be?
Yeah, it's big.
You can't just keep saying it's big, because I know in your mind you're imagining this ark. There's a boat with Noah up the front with his wife, 2 giraffes behind him, then next there, 2 elephants, and it just and it's just like elephant, giraffe, hippo, dog, cat, weasel, couple of frogs, and a spider talking to a fly going, let's get on. But when we're off here, you're dead.
But what would you have done then? Are you saying that you wouldn't get on there because it's too noisy?
It's not a question of what
it didn't
have
happen.
done.
It didn't happen.
To be honest, I'm not bothered. And they got through it, didn't they? They got through it. They're here now. We're not short of them. If anything, like I said, he didn't do us a favour because he saved too much. You can't move out there for stuff.
Now, did you see how Karl Pilkington in that clip there was representative of daft Christians? That was the image they were trying to portray, and laughing at him and laughing at the Christian idea of Noah's Ark. But what Ricky doesn't realise is Noah's Ark was not that cute little boat that you see in children's Bibles illustrated. It was bigger than the Titanic, yeah? And it didn't have like a couple of weeks notice before the flood. He had 100 years, so he had loads of time for him and his family, his sons and wives to build that boat. And all the time he was building it, it's getting bigger and bigger. The animals were coming to him. He didn't have to go around and try and find the animals, because God has no problem with the obedience of animals. He has a problem with the obedience of humans because he gives us free will. But animals, he can just say, right, go over here. And that ark was big enough for all the animals to fit in it. 2 of every kind of animal, not 2 of every single species. You know, we're talking about, you know, all kinds of different types of tigers and all the rest of it. No, 2 tigers would have been enough to create all the different tigers that you'd need. And, you know, from 2 dogs you could create every single dog species we have known today over the years, just from different types of selected breeding. And, you know, I've done many other videos on this channel, so follow and look out for them, about the evidence for a worldwide flood in the fossils all over the world in layers of sedimentary limestone rock. So check it out. But, you know, it's just another example again, isn't it, of Ricky, the atheist, being angry at God. You know, I watched some of his other comedy shows and stand-up, and he just seems really, really angry with God. Now, how can he be angry with somebody who doesn't exist? Yeah, he seems to be really angry, so I believe deep down he does believe in God. But for some reason, he's angry with him, and he's venting all his anger and trying to make a mockery of God and Christianity in these many, many clips that he does. So, come on, Ricky, over to you. What is it? What is the issue? What is the real issue at your heart? Because it's not Noah's Ark. What is it?